Hey. Welcome, guys. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good week so far. Today, we are going to talk about Bitcoin as it breaks above 80K. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what's happening, and this is exactly the time where most people actually get wrecked. Bitcoin breaks above 80,000 again, whales are accumulating, ETFs are positive, and yet I want to tell you, this is not the time where you should get too excited because this exact moment, this is where impatient money gets destroyed. Um, and I want to get one thing clear. Just because Bitcoin now starts with A, but not 7, it doesn't change much, to be honest. Until one particular level on the chart breaks, we are still bearish. But I'll talk about that level shortly. Let's see who is in here today. YKH, good to see you again. How are you? Sebas, yes. Pull back soon. Yep, pull back soon. We're gonna discuss that shortly. I've got some charts over here to show you. Pullback is coming, but unfortunately people are getting too excited right now. Other people, I guess, will be joining in shortly, but what's driving this rally now from 59K, which we had down here, up to 82K? I mean, Bitcoin is going to touch 82K probably in this live stream as I'm streaming. What is driving this rally? There are three separate forces in the market. You have regulation, you have infrastructure, and you have capital. Three main forces that are kind of aligning right now exactly at the same time. Retail investors ignore one thing. They ignore regulation. For more than 10 years, crypto had one core problem. Institutions are not like us. They're not asking, will Bitcoin go up? They are asking, can we legally hold this? Who regulates it? And what happens if something goes wrong? And for years, kind of the answer was, we don't know. And that's why trillions stayed away from the market, not because they didn't want exposure, but because of unclear rules. That's it. Now this is kind of breaking. The wall is cracking. You have the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act, and everything around it is doing one thing, the purpose of it, defining the rules. What's a security? What's a commodity? Who regulates what? And once institutions have clarity, and once they stop hesitating, they start allocating, and they're allocating pretty quickly, if we have to be honest. And if I show you this on Polymarket right now, the Clarity Act is likely to be signed in 2026. There is now more than 60% chance of passing. That's of course the Polymarket prediction. And if this gets signed, the Clarity Act, it will become the second big crypto law in the US after the Genius Act. And that one, the Genius Act, by the way, pushed the total crypto market above $4 trillion last year, if you remember this. And if now this act, the Clarity Act, gets approved, this will change things very quickly. You have big institutions starting to investing more money, more crypto ETFs will launch faster. US exchanges won't be afraid to list more coins. A decentralized finance platform may stop blocking US users, and stable coins could be used more widely, almost everywhere. So when we speak about institutions, they don't care about the short-term price action, whether Bitcoin is sitting at 65, 85, 75, it doesn't matter to them because they are kind of positioning for long term in the markets. They're not focusing on today, tomorrow, next week. They're focusing on longer time frames. So this is one thing that is kind of driving the price up right now, because we see ETFs turning positive, institutions accumulating, and if this Clarity Act gets approved as per the poly market prediction which I just showed you, this is also aligned with my expectations for price to start pumping towards Q4 this year, to have the prices recovering. And I think Trump might as well push for this before midterm, because he of course wants to get the crypto community on his side potentially with the midterm. So that's one. You have the regulation, which is becoming more and more clear, and if this Clarity Act gets approved, passes with more than, as we see, 65% as of now. And by the way, poly market predictions most of the time turn out to be right. Not all of them, but we see good percentage over there of things being right. So if that happens, that's pretty huge for crypto. And it solves one of the issues about regulation and the institutions coming into the market. The second thing is infrastructure. This sounds boring, but it's actually very powerful. And I'm going to show you this article over here. I ignore this photo. Oops. Okay, once I'm loading that back in, I want to show you an article which is the kind of clearing infrastructure that I'm talking about. A Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, just approved Gemini affiliate as a derivatives clearing organization. And that means a lot. Why? Because a clearinghouse is what makes markets work, actually. It guarantees trades, it controls access, sets the rules of engagement, and in traditional finance you have the entities like the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group, which dominates this layer. And now in crypto we are kind of building the same. So crypto is not outside the system anymore. It's becoming part of the system, and this is pretty big news as well. So that's the infrastructure that is being built. I'm going to talk about the negative side of this shortly, because obviously we are happy money is being poured into crypto, institutions are coming, but obviously there is a trade-off in all of this. And the third thing that I'm going to talk about, this matters, that's capital. This is the fuel, because none of what I just said matters if we don't have capital here. Wall Street just rotated roughly $300 billion back into risk-on assets quietly, no headlines, no hype, just quiet positioning. And I'm not talking about crypto here specifically. I'm talking about large cap equities, growth tech, speculative assets, and crypto. Crypto doesn't lead this, but it follows. The flow always goes into large cap equities, then we have growth and tech companies, and then we have speculative assets and crypto as well. So capital is already moving upstream. We see some stocks, especially AI stocks, growth tech, skyrocketing, booming. And crypto also follows. We're going to talk about the altcoins shortly, because we see strength into altcoins as well. Not all of them, very selective narratives. We're going to talk about those shortly. So crypto will be next. And when I say crypto is next down the line, I'm not talking about tomorrow, after tomorrow. Obviously, these changes and this money rotation takes some time. It's not going to happen overnight, but I'm probably talking in months here. And you have all these things aligning. You have the infrastructure ready. You have ETFs that exist. Custody is institutional grade. Clearing is being approved. So usually we have big lag between rotation of money, but this time this lag might be much shorter, because crypto is already getting in a better shape, more maturing, with more rules being put in place, especially if the Clarity Act gets approved. Now the three systems, regulation, infrastructure, and capital, are finally moving together. all in the same direction, slowly but steadily. So this all is pushing the price up for Bitcoin right now because institutions are heavily accumulating. And obviously, I explain this as very bullish because it is. That's the reality. It's bullish. We have so many things aligning: capital, infrastructure, rotating, and aligning. And yes, it's bullish, but there is a trade off to all of this, which I mentioned earlier. Think about this. You have regulation. That means control. In other words, if you think about it, beneath the surface. Clearing kind of means centralization to me. Institutional capital, that means compliance. So this whole thing starts to look like the system that crypto was actually developed to replace. But in fact, it's sort of starting to look like exactly this system that crypto was created to replace. Even Bitcoin was created to remove intermediaries. Now they are coming back and stronger than ever. So we should be asking ourselves rather than asking all the time, is this going up, is this going up. It is more important to actually ask ourselves what crypto is really becoming and where we are heading. And I personally think we have probably another 3 to 4 years to make the most of crypto before institutions ruin everything for us as retail investors. That's my honest opinion, and obviously I'm accumulating Bitcoin. That's the only asset that I'm accumulating for long term, let's say beyond 3 to 4 years time. But others, I am not, holding them forever. I don't support the idea of marrying crypto projects. Now, let's talk about the chart actually. What is happening with Bitcoin? I know a lot of you are excited about Bitcoin being back to 81, 82K. Now, you have two very smart ways to accumulate or to buy Bitcoin right now. One of them is when it's cheap. And when it is cheap around the 200 weekly moving average, which you have over here. And that's around the 60K, 58 to 60K zone. Around this line over here, this is where Bitcoin is cheap, and this is where you should be kind of buying heavily, taking advantage. Once we get close to this is where you should be buying big chunks. Now your option 2, which is not preferable, but if you're looking for security, your other option is to buy when Bitcoin is in a confirmed bull market. When Bitcoin is in a confirmed bull market, when you have Bitcoin above the 50-week moving average, and that's your here top line. That's this in the middle is the 100-week moving average, and right now this is sitting at around 95K for Bitcoin. Once we cross above 95 or the 50-week moving average, that's where you've got Bitcoin in a bull market, and you can choose to start buying above there. Obviously, this is not the best entry, but it's a confirmed entry if it gives you, peace of mind, because a lot of people bought here with fear. Maybe thinking that we are going to 40K, we are going to 30K, because I'll talk about the psychology part of all of this shortly. But right now we are kind of stuck in the worst zone. We're between the 50 and between the 200, really nothing. So the best thing you can do here is DCA on weakness, not on pumps. Right now you see Bitcoin has been trending up. When you have pullbacks, try to buy on weakness, not on pumps. That's a very simple thing you can do for yourself. Now, the psychology check behind all of this. What is really happening right now? People are jumping to buy not because it's a good trade. They are buying because they're scared. They're scared of missing the next move for Bitcoin and the whole crypto world. But if you look in particular, a lot of the good projects, layer ones, these established projects are not moving much, whereas Bitcoin has jumped from 59 to 82K in 2 months. So people are running after Bitcoin because they are scared of watching Bitcoin actually run without them. And that's reasonable. I understand this. I also posted my updated portfolio just recently on my Discord for members to see what I'm holding, what I'm not holding, and how I'm positioned. And in general, I will tell you here for your information as well. I'm 50% into Bitcoin at this stage. I also have some solid layer ones and also cash on the side because this is temporary rally. The bear market doesn't work so simply. Yes, I know we can argue that institutions are now back in, they're accumulating, absorbing, but retail investors, some of them are still here. They didn't get that scared because it was not such a big crash. It was not something to scare. Really, if you have been in bear markets, you would know that they are really scary. Almost nobody is left in. Everyone is afraid. Everyone is running away. Nobody wants to be into crypto. And we've not really reached to that stage, if I have to be honest. So I want to save you from the mistakes, experiencing the fear of missing out and buying here heavily. But at the same time, don't also aggressively short the market because both sides can get wiped out right now. And as I said, psychology is very simple. When we dropped down to 59k at this level, people started calling 40k, 30k. I'm sure you've seen that across social media. Everyone turned bearish at that point. People were calling for lower levels, going to even I saw some predictions of 20k, which is really not possible in my opinion. So sentiment got flipped pretty quickly at this point. As you can see, Bitcoin started moving up pretty quickly. We got flipped, but bear market is not so easy, not so simple, because everyone was bearish at this point. The market started moving up to liquidate all of those who were expecting lower prices. Now we're gonna get to a level which in my opinion is, let me mark it up, it's this zone over here. To be precise, I'm going to make it a little bit wider to capture those candles. So right now, this is the zone I am looking for. Obviously, we went above 80k, which was the first target. Now I am expecting Bitcoin to go up in the range between 82 to 86k, around that zone. And at this level, almost everyone would be turning, bullish, chasing Bitcoin, running and trying to being afraid that Bitcoin will run without them. But market doesn't just go like this, bullish and parabolic. I can tell you that very soon, around this level, we're going to see Bitcoin back to the 70s. Obviously, it might take another week or so before we reach that level, but we are moving up with a lot of volume. As soon as we reach this zone, we're going to grab that liquidity. That's a very strong resistance zone. Previously, it acted as support. As you can see, was a support. We broke below over here, and now we are testing this again. But this time for us, this is resistance. This previous support turned into resistance over here. And why I am calling now the 82 to 86, because if I go on the hourly chart, let me show you something. On the hourly chart, maybe we'll go on the daily. That would be better. On the daily chart, we had this bear flag over here, and we just broke above it, and we didn't break above it so in hesitation. We broke above it with a lot of volume. You can see we broke above it with a lot of volume over here, and we closed above that, the daily. On the daily chart, we are closing above this. So then the next level, we see confidence on this green candle. So the next zone we target is over here, but we would face resistance. At this point, for sure, we would have resistance. You can see previously we came down, we tested, we came down second time, third time we tested and we break below it. And even if you look at the historical performance, previously we had the same pattern over here. So technically, we will go up, and I see us reversing back to the lower side of this channel, which should be around the 70k. And then obviously we are too far away to predict what is next. We're probably going to follow the same pattern as over here, the same flag, the same channel. If we look realistically here, we had similar channel. We broke below it. We might expect something similar. We'll discuss that. Obviously, we are monitoring this chart and those trends. If you guys want to join us on Discord, you can see technical analysis and updates as how the market moves. So we'll also discuss that here on the live stream. But if you have Bitcoin right now, and personally my strategy is, if you have Bitcoin, hold it and DCA onto weakness. As soon as we touch, for example, we touch here and we pull back, we get the pullback, this is for you opportunity to buy some Bitcoin. And as we go down, keep buying. If you don't have, keep adding. You have a very good opportunity right now. Bitcoin was sitting at 126 and it has dropped massively, 40% on discount. So it's your perfect opportunity to start DCAing. And as I said, on weakness, don't chase the green candles, but rather chase the red candle. I will be buying at the lower line. You mean at the 200 weekly moving average? Yeah, this is where people should be entering with bigger amounts when we touch the 200 weekly moving average. This is the golden opportunity in crypto, in bear markets. These are the golden opportunities. We on Discord, in fact, we added 4 new projects this week. We added 4 new projects, waiting to take some profits next week or the week after. Depends on how these perform. If you guys want to join us on Discord, you'll find link under the description or under every video that I upload. And I'll be very happy to welcome you as part of our community. We mainly focused on AI narratives and real world assets for this stage, because this is where I see strength. This is where I see projects performing well. Let's see what's happening on Crypto Bubbles. In fact, I believe one of our projects is trending. In fact, I see a few of our projects trending. You know, I told you about Perle. This was a project we added. I sold all of my position at the all-time high. I recognize a few of the projects that we added are already in trending. If you guys want to be part of the community, as I said, you'll find link under the description. We tend to buy on a regular basis, buy and sell short-term trades while we are accumulating our solid layer ones like Sui, Solana, Tao, Caspa. I see Render. I know people in my Discord are buying also other projects that don't necessarily are aligned with my projects, but it's good. People should be buying whatever they really have conviction in. Virtue is another great project. AI. Sky AI. We see really AI projects having the momentum right now. But as I always keep saying, this doesn't last forever. So don't, jump and buying at all-time highs. Research very carefully, because a lot of people will get wrecked buying projects that have jumped already 100%, buying them, and then these projects are going to zero. We had a lot of examples. Even LAP is not an AI project, but it had very similar. It ran up to $3, crashed to 80 cents. Now it's again starting to have its momentum. But be very careful. Once you see this kind of pump and then dump, you should stay cautious. That's kind of red flag for me. Big pump and dump within a short time frame. We're not talking about longer time frame. Pretty short pump and dump that we see over here. So always do your research. Understand, do you know the team? Do they research? Have they previously dumped projects? Are they working hard? Is their white paper just white paper, or they're actually doing some work? In the roadmap, you don't just want buzzwords, you want to actually see execution. So look for these things. Render, good project. What are you guys most bullish on? If you're asking me right now, I am heavily buying two projects, and I would be buying Solana and Sui. This is where all my capital plus Bitcoin is going at this stage. Anything else, smaller market cap projects, speculative, that I'm accumulating are more for short term. If I want to start buying heavily on small market cap projects or more speculative, as I said, I am waiting for confirmation for a bull run, which is actually going above the 50-week moving average. And that's around the 95K level. But we are not there yet. We are still pretty far from that. In fact, let's see what's on the second page. You know what's the sad thing? That you get a lot of projects that are actually being pushed in top 100. They're being launched with pretty big market cap and get pushed into the top 100, and they replace good projects that I believe a lot of you are holding. These solid projects get pushed back on CoinMarketCap. What do we have on the second, third page? Ton. Paul. Welcome, Paul. Yeah, Ton is having a very good run. You know why? Because Ton is linked to Telegram. And there are a lot of, because Telegram is shifting. So whatever Pavel Durov, the guy who created Telegram, is, and I'm sure he's undertaking whatever changes, Ton benefits from that. And you know that Telegram is popular platform, so markets are repricing Ton as a Telegram-led chain, not just foundation-backed project. So yeah, they're doing a lot of changes, and Ton is really benefiting from that. Even Ton could be used for some kind of payments to do with Telegram, which is another very bullish use case for Ton. I do like this project, and even if you look at the chart, let's look at the chart. It has a beautiful chart. Obviously, I wouldn't chase it right now because, as I said, I expect bigger crash coming, and I would a little bit, pause there and wait for a better opportunity, because Ton already had a decent run. So I wouldn't jump on now. It would cool off, and then this is where I would consider buying. It'll probably come down to this zone over here, and I would start DCing. But if you really believe in it and you have the conviction, you can start DCing. If you have the fear of missing out, buy a bag and then make sure you have certain capital on the side to keep DCing. But yeah, Ton is definitely a project that is worth holding. Definitely a project that is worth holding, as it's linked to Telegram, and they are really integrating Ton into the whole narrative. Hello. Good to see you. OG. Good to see you. And we can see Ton. Where is Ton on this chart? Let's go on the daily. You can see Ton is up 25%. I also noticed that meme coins are having their runs. Some of the meme coins are really performing very well. As you can see, Pengu, Meme Core over here. We see strength in meme coins. Oh, I'm gonna say, don't chase on the hype. Don't chase when a project has already pumped. Wait for a pullback, because a lot of you will now get their portfolios full of meme coins, and all of these meme coins will eventually go back to where they were at the bottom, and you get wrecked, and you will again suffer. If you have cleared your portfolio from meme coins recently and you've rotated into other projects, and I know that because people on my Discord came to me and I tried to help them optimize their portfolios full of meme coins that are actually now worth nothing. A lot of you will now get again tempted to chase meme coins, buy high, and then Tro was another example. Tro recently had a very good run. I like it as a meme coin, but I wouldn't chase it at this stage. I wouldn't chase at this stage really. Troll. If there is a potential pullback, this is where I would enter. But the market is fragile. We are in a bear market. Do you think that from here, Troll would just go to a new all-time high? I don't think so. Given that the market is dominated by Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin has already moved up, whereas altcoins are not really showing strength. Only certain projects, like for example Ton, because they have some reason. Solana still very undervalued. Tron, same thing. Sui, XRP, BNB, all of these are so undervalued and they're barely moving. Bitcoin has moved so much up and they are still sleeping. Crash on X is pushing Ton a lot. Yep, exactly. Ton has a backup behind it. It's a project that actually can do something, and linked to Telegram, they can achieve a lot. Even as I said, if they integrate Ton, if not already, with payments and other use cases related to Telegram, they can really achieve a lot. So, what else is trending? What if Bitcoin drops to 50%? Will altcoins drop another 40%? Yeah, altcoins will drop. Well, some will probably drop 40%. If Bitcoin drops to 50%, a lot of the altcoins probably won't survive and will never recover. I would expect them to drop by another, yeah, maybe 30 to 40%. Not all, some will really stay strong and be accumulated heavily, but others will certainly drop a lot, even more than 40%. You even see some of them now ending badly. You have examples like Siren, projects that are in top 100. They're getting dumped heavily. Like Siren, what else? Just we discussed Lab. There was another AI project, Trador, that followed the same path recently. A big pump and big crash, as you can see over here. There was another one, Rave. Without Bitcoin dropping, actually Bitcoin is doing pretty well, and these projects are just decided to be badly dumped without any specific reason. There is no crash. Bitcoin is just moving up step by step. So the bear market is actually creating a lot of projects to never recover again. It's creating a lot of big dumps. Yeah, just be very selective, very careful, and at this stage, avoid the speculative projects unless you have done your research, you know what you're buying, and you know when you will be selling. But in terms of other projects, solid layer ones, top projects, you can keep accumulating and DCAing on weakness. But I'm still holding my thesis for a bigger crash coming. As we discussed, if you guys haven't watched the start of this live stream, you can watch the replay. Once we reach between 82, 86, this for me will be a reversal zone, and we'll have again Bitcoin going to the 70k. And then from there we potentially can continue the downside momentum to the 60s, and then we'll see maybe touch the 50s. And the market doesn't just go parabolic, as you can see over here. We've been now going for weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks straight bullish. And a lot of people have actually turned bullish right now, chasing the green candles, and these will be hurt again very soon. Well, hello from Kansas City. Hey, Crypto Casey. Hey. Good to see you. Good to see you here as well. I think we were just actually coming to an end. We talked about different things. What is driving this rally right now? What is the next step for Bitcoin? What I'm looking for since we closed bullish on this channel over here. We talked about the altcoins. We just added 4 new altcoins on Discord this week, waiting to take some profits hopefully next week or over the next 2 weeks. And we'll see how we are positioning in that meantime. I think a lot of the project will still push up as Bitcoin moves to 80, 84, 86K. We'll see some more pump on some of the altcoins, partial altcoins here and there. But be very careful on how you position yourself. Don't think that the bear market has finished. Bear market is really not so easy, not so simple. It's a bigger torture. Well, okay. If you guys don't have any questions, nothing to add, we'll come back again for another live stream later this week. And thank you for joining. Thanks for your time. I'll see you again later in the week. Enjoy the rest of this week. Hope you're having a good week. I'll see you soon.